you ever found yourself delaying important tasks, knowing you should act but feeling trapped in an endless cycle of distractions and excuses? The worst part is that deep down, you realize this procrastination is stealing your opportunities, keeping you away from your dreams, your goals, and the life you deserve to live. But what if I told you that in the next 30 minutes, I could not only reveal the root of this problem, but also uproot it once and for all? Napoleon Hill, one of the greatest scholars of success, identified an invisible enemy that sabotages careers, erodes ambitions, and condemns individuals to a life of mediocrity: procrastination. He called it the most destructive habit of the human mind and uncovered how disciplined, focused minds can overcome it. This is exactly what you will discover here. But first, I want you to answer honestly. How many times have you promised to change? How many times have you sworn that tomorrow you would do things differently, only to fall back into the same patterns? That tomorrow never comes because your mind is programmed to keep you in your comfort zone. Procrastination isn't your weakness, it's a mental trap, and I will show you how to escape it in the coming minutes. You will understand why your mind works against you and how to reprogram it to act with determination and clarity. You will learn a simple yet powerful method rooted in Napoleon Hill's timeless principles that will transform your relationship with action and steer you toward immediate progress. So, if you're tired of postponing the life you deserve, stay with me until the end of this video, because I promise that once we finish, procrastination will no longer have power over you. You may not realize it, but there is a silent enemy eroding your willpower, derailing your dreams, and sabotaging your success. This enemy doesn't shout or make a scene. It's present in every postponed decision, wasted opportunity, and unmet promise you make to yourself. Its name is procrastination. Napoleon Hill dedicated decades studying the human mind and identified this obstacle as one of the main reasons people fail in life. Why is procrastination so dangerous? Because it disguises itself as comfort, a false sense of security. Your mind convinces you that tomorrow is a better day to start, that the timing isn't right, that you need more information, motivation, or time. But the brutal truth is that each time you listen to that inner voice, you train your brain to accept stagnation. You're programming yourself to fail. Napoleon Hill pointed out that procrastination isn't just a bad habit, it's a form of mental slavery. He described it as drift, a way of wandering through life aimlessly, allowing fear and laziness to dictate your actions. The procrastinator doesn't own their mind. They are controlled, not by an external force, but by their conditioning, which traps them in inertia. But what if you could break this cycle now? What if, instead of postponing your goals, you could reprogram your mind to act immediately, without hesitation? The good news is that Napoleon Hill discovered exactly how to do that. He studied the most successful men of his time and uncovered a common trait among them: an unshakable sense of urgency. They understood that every moment wasted is a step away from the life they desire. I want you to make a commitment right now that from this moment forward you will no longer be a slave to procrastination. You will not allow this enemy to steal even a second of your life. Because in the next section, I will reveal Napoleon Hill's primary strategy for destroying procrastination and gaining absolute control over your mind. Once you apply this principle, you will never see procrastination the same way again. A common trait among all successful people Hill studied is their ability to make quick, definitive decisions. Think and Grow Rich teaches that indecision is one of the greatest obstacles to success. Every time you hesitate, postpone a choice, waiting for the perfect moment, you are training your mind to accept delay. The truth is, procrastination doesn't stem from laziness, but from doubt. And where doubt exists, weakness follows. Those who achieve great things are not the ones waiting to feel fully prepared. They decide before they are ready. They understand that action comes before motivation, and not the other way around. Napoleon Hill found that the most influential leaders made decisions swiftly and followed through, while most people change their minds constantly, always waiting. For a guarantee of success, the true winners take action and adjust their course along the way. Why is immediate decision so powerful? Because it breaks the mental pattern of procrastination. When you commit to something with conviction, Your mind aligns itself to find solutions, not excuses. Instead of asking, "Should I do this?" you begin to ask, "How can I do this now?" This shift in thinking radically transforms your ability to act. Here's the secret. The decision doesn't have to be perfect, but it must be made. If you wait for total clarity, you'll never move forward. Napoleon Hill identified that those who wait for certainty to act are often paralyzed by fear. Life is a game of probabilities, and winners are those who choose to play rather than watch from the sidelines. You won't have 100% certainty before you start, and that's okay. What matters is commitment and willingness to adapt along the way. Now, here's a simple challenge. Choose one task you've been postponing, something small or significant, and decide to act on it right now. Without hesitation, pick up your phone, send that message, start that project, make that call. The act of deciding and acting in this moment breaks the cycle of procrastination and gives you control. In the next section, I will show you how to turn this initial action into a lasting habit using one of Napoleon Hill's most powerful principles. Once you understand how to generate momentum and interrupt the cycle of delay, the next question is, how do you maintain consistency? Because acting once isn't enough. What you want is a sustainable, unstoppable rhythm. Napoleon Hill taught that well-being of success isn't achieved through giant leaps but through the cumulative power of small, consistent actions. He called this the force of habit. When you start moving, your mind seeks to maintain this inertia. The problem is, most people wait for motivation to strike before they begin. The truth is, motivation is a byproduct of action. Action comes first. The more you act, the more motivated you become, creating a positive feedback loop. To implement this practically, reduce resistance to starting. Instead of thinking about a huge task, focus on a micro commitment. If you need to write a report, vow to write just one sentence. If the gym is the goal, put on your workout clothes. This might seem trivial, but it's precisely what destroys procrastination. Human nature finds it hard to stop once they've begun. Taking the first step is often the hardest. Once you start, your brain takes over and wants to complete it. Here's your next challenge. Pick an important task you've been putting off and reduce it to a tiny first step. Complete that step. Observe how your mind naturally wants to continue. That's the secret of momentum. In the following section, I will teach you how to turn this spark of energy into an unbreakable habit using one of Hill's most profound concepts. Now that you've learned how to generate momentum and overcome delay, there's an essential, psychological principle used by successful people: autosuggestion. If you don't control the thoughts you feed your subconscious, you risk becoming its slave. Procrastination is simply a reflection of what you continually tell yourself. Napoleon Hill understood that the subconscious mind acts like fertile ground. What you plant grows. Repeating positive affirmations creates neural connections that reinforce a new identity. If you constantly tell yourself, "I'm lazy," "I can't focus," or "I'm unproductive," you strengthen those traits. Conversely, if you replace negative self-talk with empowering words, "I act immediately," "I am disciplined," "I am focused," you begin to transform your self-image. Hill emphasized that the words you repeat with emotion become beliefs, and those beliefs shape your actions. To destroy procrastination, you must change how you see yourself. Each day, affirm with conviction. Today, I act instantly. I am disciplined and focused. I make decisions and follow through without hesitation. This might seem simple, but science has confirmed that consistent repetition of thoughts and affirmations rewires the brain's neural pathways. Building a new identity takes time, but intentional autosuggestion can accelerate the process. Here's a practical exercise. Craft a short phrase that embodies the disciplined person you want to become. Something like, "I act without hesitation," or "I complete every task I start." Say it daily, every morning and before important activities for a week. Watch how your mindset begins to shift. In the next section, I will reveal a hidden principle Napoleon Hill uncovered among history's greatest achievers, one that makes people see time differently and eliminates the barrier of delay altogether. Once you learn to reprogram your Mind, the next question is, how do you fully leverage the value of your time? Napoleon Hill emphasized that time is your most precious resource, and every second wasted in procrastination is a part of your life you will never get back. Realizing this could be the ultimate trigger to crush this destructive habit. Pause for a moment and reflect. How many days, months, or even years have you thrown away postponing what you know you should do? How many opportunities have slipped by because you didn't act at the right moment? Many think they'll always have more time, that someday they'll do what needs to be done, but that someday rarely comes. Hill taught that time doesn't forgive those who ignore its value. It simply slips away. The truth is, every day lost is a day you'll never reclaim. Procrastination is a silent thief, not only of achievements but of your confidence. Every delay trains your brain to accept less of what life has to offer. You start watching others succeed while waiting for that perfect moment that will never arrive. Hill warned that successful individuals share a common trait. They understand the importance of each minute and act with urgency. Imagine that your life bank deposits 80-60-400 seconds every morning, and at midnight whatever you haven't used disappears forever. Would you waste that time? Of course not. Yet that's exactly what you do every day when you procrastinate. Your challenge now is to stop postponing. Act as if every second is a valuable investment. Choose one significant task you've been putting off and begin it today. No excuses, no delays. Don't wait an hour or a day. Start now. In the next section, I will share a powerful psychological principle Napoleon Hill used among history's most successful people, a method to eliminate doubts and act fearlessly. Having grasped the true cost of procrastination and the priceless value of time, the final question is, how do you act decisively, even when fear or doubt try to stop you? Hill studied hundreds of successful individuals and discovered they all shared a key trait. They eliminated the possibility of retreat. He called it burning the bridges, a concept borrowed from ancient military strategy. When an army crossed into enemy territory, the leader would order their retreat points destroyed, leaving no way back. This forced the soldiers to move forward with total commitment, either conquer or perish. Reflect. How many times have you procrastinated because deep down, you could postpone a little more or keep an escape route open? How many goals have you left behind because you're hesitant to fully commit? The truth is, as Hill showed, every time you keep an option to back out, your mind remains in doubt. But when you burn the bridges, your mind is forced into clarity and total focus. The only direction left is forward. Your challenge is to identify something you've been delaying and create a commitment that makes retreat impossible. This could be sharing your goal with a friend, announcing it publicly, or making an investment that binds you. Watch how your mind responds when there's no turning back. Next, I will reveal a psychological technique used by successful people to sustain unwavering discipline, how to keep your energy up and enthusiasm high over the long term. Because even after making decisive moves without sustained energy, progress stalls. Hill discovered that a major reason people give up is a loss of enthusiasm. The problem isn't lack of ability, it's losing the internal fire. Success practitioners understand that enthusiasm is a mental state that can be cultivated intentionally. It doesn't happen by chance but through deliberate strategies, such as connecting your actions to a clear purpose, creating an environment that stimulates you, and trusting that every effort leads to a bigger result. Many believe they need to wait until they feel motivated before they start. But Hill knew differently. Real champions understand that motivation is a byproduct of action. The more you act, the more motivated you become, a cycle that fuels perseverance. To practice this, set up a system of small rewards, something simple like a treat or a moment of leisure. Each time you complete a task, your brain will start associating effort with pleasure, making action inevitable. Write down 3 small rewards you will give yourself whenever you overcome procrastination. This creates a positive feedback loop that sustains energy. Finally, I'll share a little-known principle Hill discovered among the greatest achievers. An ingredient that helps maintain relentless focus and productivity. Eliminating distractions. The human mind is incredibly powerful when concentrated but easily diverted. Hill called this definition of purpose, narrowing your focus so intensely that everything else fades into insignificance. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, notifications, emails, television. These all consume your attention little by little until you realize the day has slipped away without progress. The harsh truth is, you cannot beat procrastination as long as distractions control your mind. Successful leaders create environments that shield them from disruption. Ford worked in isolated rooms. Edison experimented at night to avoid interruptions. Hill recommended designing your workspace to minimize distractions. Here's a straightforward but powerful tactic. Schedule specific periods during your day dedicated solely to working on your goal. No interruptions. Turn off your phone. Set your environment to support focus. Use noise-canceling headphones and commit for at least 50 minutes. Do this consistently. Notice how deep concentration unlocks your potential. And now, the final principle, one that unites everything that Napoleon Hill identified, the key to transforming sustained action into a permanent lifestyle. Once you've learned how to eliminate distractions, cultivate enthusiasm, and commit publicly, the most vital factor remains: consistency. Success isn't built on sporadic moments of motivation, but in daily disciplined action, until it becomes part of who you are. Hill explained that habits shape identity. Each postponement reinforces a self-image of laziness. Each decisive action affirms discipline and strength. The more you act even when you don't feel like it, the more you reinforce a new identity, someone who simply gets things done. To cement this, Hill recommends a simple yet powerful practice. Commit to 30 days of action, daily, without fail, even if for just 5 minutes. It's not about quantity, but consistency. If you maintain this streak, procrastination will lose its grip and your new identity will be firmly rooted. Pick one goal you've been delaying and pledge to work on it every day for the next month. When the cycle of action becomes habitual, you won't need motivation. You'll be a person who just acts. This journey has revealed that procrastination isn't just a bad habit. It's an invisible enemy that steals your dreams and sabotages your chances of success. But Hill proved that action is a choice, and every decision you make today shapes your future self. Now, the real question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you leave this video and keep postponing your goals, waiting forever for the right moment that will never come? Or will you make a decisive choice right now and begin to annihilate procrastination for good? There are no secrets, only successful people who act while others hesitate. You now have all the tools to start today. Remember, it won't be easy, but it will be possible. There will be days when your mind urges you to retreat to your comfort zone, days when discouragement knocks at your door. But now, you know how to overcome those impulses. Decide, create momentum, eliminate distractions, and develop the habit of action. Over time, this will become your new identity. When that happens, nothing can stop you. Now, I want you to do one simple thing. Comment below telling me the first action you will take today to break free from procrastination. Don't delay. Write it now. Make a public commitment. And if this video has helped you, like it and subscribe to the channel, because here you'll find the knowledge that transforms your mindset and elevates you to the next level. Time waits for no one. You have two options: keep postponing your life or act now. The choice is yours. If you're going to make this commitment to yourself, leave in the comments, "I commit,"